What up, Adam family, YouTube subscribers, wherever you are, whatever time you're watching this. Thank you guys for tuning into the video. So as you guys see, I want to do an update video on the cars that I have and what's the plan with them. And first and foremost, I want to thank you guys, man. Much love for 1,000 subscribers, man. I actually saw the 999 while I was welding at work that day, and I was actually welding. I had the MIG torch in my hand, and I was just like raising that helmet. I was like, let me check that bitch real quick. It's at 999, and when I refreshed, I saw 1,000. I was like, damn, it's like it really happened. Now I know that's nothing crazy and all that. I'm sure a lot of YouTubers hit 1,000 in a day, a week. I think it all boils down to the YouTube algorithm, and what's a niche content from what's not really popping. It's all about entertainment at the end of the day. And I'm just an average guy like most of you, man. Nothing crazy. Monday through Friday work, 12 hours a day, even more. Just average people like y'all, man. Nothing crazy. If it gets to the point where it's entertaining, I'll add some of that in. But I'm not gonna live outside my lifestyle just for entertainment. You know what I'm saying? All this working cars, come home, sleep, working cars, come home, sleep. Just work. So like I said, I want to show you guys an update on the cars. I've been getting questions, especially personal messages, about one of the cars I don't really show on the channel, but it's regarding to my B5S4. I've never expected people to like that car. I'm sure a lot of you guys know about the B5S4 and my Toyota MR2. So as you guys know, right now my main focus is on the 2008 Mazda Speed 3, which is taking up 99% of my time and money. But let's just start with that car and then work our way to the MR2. So let's do this, guys. Alright guys, so not going to take the car cover off, but hiding underneath the car cover, as you can see, my first gen 2008 Mazda Speed 3, which I picked up probably like, I think it was 2-3 months ago, last year basically. It had a blown motor, ringland failure, which is common to some of these Speed 3, especially if you start adding Speed 3, Speed 6, especially when you start adding modifications without properly tuning. I wouldn't even take the chance just to add an intake, which whoever was a previous owner, they had an AEM intake on it. Not sure if it had high pressure fuel pump internals. I have the fuel pump, I never tore it down to check, but I'm not sure if this car even had a access port. But yeah, so this is her, and she sits on the cover. And as you know, what we're doing with this car, we're putting a Ford Fusion, which I got from the junkyard, a 2008 Ford Fusion bottom end with the OEM Mazda Speed MZR direct injected head to that block. Power goals are just around 380, 400, nothing crazy. If I get more, just to see the limits of that block, but I think it'll hold some decent power, and this will be a fun daily driver. And the plan is to not really keep it for that long, but I'm starting to love the car a lot now, especially doing a lot of research on it. And I want to add some of my style to this platform, and hopefully, who knows, maybe I can sell some parts. But I have some ideas in my head with this chassis, and hopefully I can bring it to reality. Now, some parts came in the mail today, which I can show you guys real quick. I just show you what I got. I'm no way affiliated with any of these companies. I just paid this with my own money, bought all this with my own money. So this is from Edge Auto Sport. So here I have brand new friction washer, Ford Mazda. This is a must. I would suggest doing this if you're doing a timing change. So I have three friction washers, which is the amount that is required with the Mazda Speed. On the regular Ford Fusion, it only had 2, but since we're doing a Mazda Speed Dizzy style setup, I just prefer getting all 3. Here I have new oil pump chain, and I have a few other things inside. Here is my gasket kit from Mahle. So it's a OEM, not OEM, but you know, Mahle is a good company, Mahle Cleveite. So here's the intake gasket and the throttle body gasket. Now the head is already ported, and I have a whole sorry, it's not ported, sorry. The head is already resurfaced from the machine shop, so it's already torn down. I just have to port it, and I was waiting on this to come in so I can start doing that, and I'll show you guys a little, you know, montage on that. Here is, now I'm not hitting any company, but I'll get to this last. But here is a valve spring compressor kit that I will be using to reinstall the valves and all that for the Mazdaspeed, and hopefully this tool will work in the future, because some of the cars that I want to work on, for example like the Evo, the Audi S4 as well, the valves, they're so recessed into the head that this is a style tool that I will need. So that will come in handy. And right here, now this is from Speed Performance. Now I'm not hitting any company at all. To be honest with you, I would love to work with companies, but you know, I still got to show myself approved. And new head bolts, okay? Now on Speed Performance website, they claim to be OEM. Now I thought this would have come in a Ford or a Mazda logo or something. I don't know, to me this looked like just a generic bolt set. So I called them and I asked, you know, I got these bolts and they look the same like what I took from that Ford Fusion when I was at the junkyard. And from what the guy told me, I don't know if this is true, that the Ford Fusion Duratec bolts are stronger than the Mazdaspeed bolts. Now I don't know how true that is, because like I said, this is a different style. On the Mazdaspeed, it's a 12-point socket, and this is a torque socket style. I'm not sure if these are generic bolts. I would have just preferred just getting them off of eBay or Amazon or something like that, because this came to around the same price as if it was OEM. But it's all good. Like I said, I'm not bashing the company at all. These guys work on these cars a lot, so who knows, it's probably the same material. But you know, if you're thinking about it from a business aspect, you know, it's just like, okay, you want something, you send me to buy something for you. Okay, you want burger, you want McDonald's burger, but I bring Burger King or Wendy's. Just because it's a burger, that doesn't mean that's the style of burger you like. You see what I'm saying? Just from a business point of view. But I'm just gonna rock with this, see if it works, and I'm sure it'll hold the power. But again, I thought I was just gonna get OEM bolts. Now I'm not sure if this is OEM or not from Ford, but it is what it is. If you guys know this, let me know. You guys work a lot in these with this platform. So that's pretty much it with the Mazdaspeed. I just gotta get the head ported, and I can start assembling that onto the block. So let's move on to the next car. Alright guys, so you can pretty much say she's abandoned, but this is my 99 B5 S4. You guys want proof? It's not an A4. Although someone could just slap the sticker on, but yeah, this is a legit B5 Brilliant Black S4. My second B5 S4. Now, it's weird with my history with these cars, and I can give that in a later video if you guys are curious about that. But just long story short, I just wanted something different than a Honda, and I just got obsessed with the whole all-wheel drive setup, and I was just watching some Quattro videos. This was when I was living in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and I just wanted something different, man. And I just started watching these videos on all-wheel drive setups, and the video that caught my attention, and my Audi guys would know who I'm talking about, which his car unfortunately burned down, I think it was early this year, late last year, but Hanover RS4 limo. which is just a converted, you know, S4 with wide body. But that car is sick. You guys should search that up. Just look for Quattro launches, B5 S4 launches, man. Now I don't know if you guys have ever been in a Quattro before, or an Audi or anything, you know, with that setup, but it's totally different. I've been in the Evo, I've been in an STI, and it's totally different in my opinion. Even though if this car is heavy, the Quattro, again, it is crazy. It's like experiencing VTEC for the first time. It is fucking crazy. So I bought my first one, and me being a dumbass trying to be like Mario Andretti or Art in the Center or something like that, I crashed that car, and I can show you guys clips of that, or if you guys want to search that video, I've posted it a long time ago, 2016. I got in a bad car wreck. A lot of people think I was lying, but you know, because I came out pretty much with just a head injury. I was unconscious for a bit, but you know, I crawled out of that car, you know, like I said, with just a head injury. And yeah, that was a lesson learned with this car. Now, if you're first time looking for your first car, just my opinion, I wouldn't get a B5 S4. Not because, yeah, I fucked up and I try to be a race car driver. I don't care if you're a good driver. These cars handle well, I think, with the correct suspension, but I don't think it's a circuit car. This would be the last car I choose to be a circuit car, unless it's properly set up, well dialed in. But on stock suspensions and how the hood is so long over the axle, I wouldn't take any chance, man. But like I said, I respect everyone out there. Even if you're a good driver, I just wouldn't play with this car. This is just a straight line monster, and that's the plan with this car. So if you're a first time guy, and especially with maintenance, there's lots of videos on this. This is the reason why these cars are a little bit cheap. When they have problems, it is expensive. It's hard to get to the turbo. You have to pull the whole engine to get to the turbo. The problem I had with this car, and it drove fine, you know, I bought it from St. Louis, Missouri. In coincidence, it's the same guy who I bought my first one from. And the problem with this car, the KO4 blew on me, and the main problem was the transmission. First and second gear, it's a common issue with these 01E transmissions. And I've already bought the kit from JHM. I've had that kit sitting here for like 3 years now. I bought a whole brand new gasket seal from ECS Tuning. 3 years now. Haven't even opened that box yet. You know, I've had that box unopened since, man. And the car just been sitting here. I'll be real with you guys. I got over my head with this car. I started tearing shit apart, and I got sidetracked with the Civic. And this is the type of car that you don't want to just tear it down and leave it. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so many parts to it. This is all my opinion, okay? And I'm not a mechanic, but if you're gonna tear this car apart, you want to make sure you have everything documented. And I didn't do it. That would be real, y'all. So I got over my head with this car. So the plan is, I don't want to build it here. I want to get it on 4 wheels, and hopefully I can get a house. Slowly work on it. What I was doing here was a 3-liter single turbo build, and like I said, I just got carried away with other things and pretty much lost interest. But I don't want to get rid of the car, man. I love the car, and they're hard to find, especially finding out that Paul Walker owned one back in the day, and AZ Euro purchased it from auction, and it's a brilliant black as well. But you know, my top color would be a Nogara blue or a Mola yellow, but definitely a Nogara blue. But I love this car, man. I just love this platform, and I just want to be a straight line killer, highway killer. Nothing really for drag racing, just a crazy highway daily driver killer. So you know, if everything goes well with the channel and whatnot, man, and I can keep showing you guys my journey and whatnot, definitely. But I was this close parting this car out, you know, this close, man, and I still don't want to do it. But we'll see how that goes. So let's move on to the Civic, guys. So you know, this is a car that I don't want to say pretty much made the channel, but the star. This is my baby. Bunch of pollen on her. 8 Gen Civic Si. You know, we took this car to the dyno, made 571 to the wheel. Shout out to EBTEC in Georgia. Great job with this car, man. No issues other than what we got going on, if you guys watch the videos, with the clutch. Now the motor is still in good condition. She's right here. I have zero problem with this motor. For being my first, you know, serious build, you know, she is still perfectly fine, man. Good compression and everything. But the issue we got going on with this car is with the clutch. And I have a few minor small electrical stuff that I need to work on. Maybe I can show you guys that in some videos to come. But as you guys know, or if not, I have a problem with my twin disc. Already started slipping. And it's a little bit disappointed, to be honest with you, because I put so much in this car and so much money. And to be honest with you, I didn't really enjoy it. You know, I really didn't enjoy it. You know, drove to Texas and all that. Drove it back here and it just started slipping, man. And for the most of the time when I was driving in Texas, I wasn't even beating on her, you know. I was just enjoying it. You know, just happy to see the car running, you know, put a smile on my face. And came back to Arkansas, man, and this bitch just started slipping. So I send the clutch to Georgia, which headquarters is for Competition Clutch, and they got done with the inspection and it came out that it's bad from what Sarah told me. And I'm still puzzled to this day, because I'm sure a lot of guys out there are daily driving on twin discs, but it makes sense. So the prolonged driving I was doing with it, you know, even when I was doing braking on the car, I drove it from here to Memphis, all over Jonesboro, small towns in Arkansas, all that, you know, it just weared the clutch out. It wore the clutch out premature. So, you know, when I really got on it at the dyno and then driving it back to Arkansas and then to Texas and back, you know, all that stop and go, long driving and all that, it wore the clutch out. So the plan is, I don't know. I was thinking about letting them rebuild it and letting them tell me what the price is. Or my second option is to check out Clutchmaster. Now with the twin disc, I'm sure you guys know this, it's an unsprung disc. Now Clutchmaster has a setup where you have a sprung and an unsprung disc, so it takes, you know, a lot of the tension off of the, you know, pressure off, if that's the correct verbiage, off the clutch assembly, you know what I'm saying, so it doesn't wear out as quick. That's an expensive clutch. Or two, go to a what do you call it, a hydro throw-out bearing setup, you know. So instead of it being mechanical, it's hydraulic. That's another thing I'm researching about, but I'm not in a rush, guys. As much as I want to enjoy the car, and you know, it's summer right now, even though we have a lot going on in the world, I'm not really in a rush. I want this car, when it goes back in, I don't want to take it out anytime soon, unless it's to make more power or to change this setup. But I want to do it right, and I want to show you guys, and especially with the 8 Gen chassis, you know, my love for the 8 Gen chassis is hella real. Stupid real. For some reason I just love this chassis, man. I love this car. I love the chassis. I love the platform. In my opinion, I think this generation saved the SI model. Yes, I know about the EM1. I've had 2 EM1s before, but EM1, EP3, don't get me wrong, EP3 is a good chassis, but stock for stock, man, I think this car, and 4-door being the first 4-door SI, I think this car, you know, helped bring this, you know, bring the SI platform back in the market. So it's just that, man, just the clutch. I just got to get the clutch, and I can have this car up and running and fix a few minor stuff on it, and you know, just get it back on the road and make some content, man. But just stick with the journey with me, guys. So yeah, just looking for a good twin disc, man. I don't want to go to a single stage 5 or stage 4. It would defeat the purpose, because I'm fixing to turn this car up. I want to see how much the stock internals can withstand. If you guys know a little bit about the build, yes, it's semi-built. I call it my stage 1 setup, but it's all stock rods and pistons. The clearances are just played with, and ARP rod bolts, but it's basically stock 85-90% stock internals. So yeah, I want to see how much he can hold, man. So that's pretty much with the Civic. So let's move on to the last car, and that's the MR2. Alright guys, so this is my other baby. I've owned this car for a long time, probably 3.5 years, and I can count how many fingers on my body I've driven this car. She still runs, she still drives. You know, no problems with this car, man. However, I just don't like to drive her, and the reason why she's sitting outside, I do keep it covered, but I just want to show you guys, because of the SI, I had to switch places, and I don't have any space. But it really kills me keeping this car out here. But yeah, this is my 91 MR2. Picked this car up for a hell of a deal, you know, with the help of my wife, man. Got this car for a good deal, man. This was a last minute buy. Now, this car as well, I've pretty much on 3-4 occasions posted for sale and just took it down, because I've gotten so many messages. I didn't know this was a car that was a high commodity as well, especially how hard they are, you know, in my area. They're hard to find. I don't know about your area, so please don't come now, oh, well, we got 5 fucking million MR2s here for $2,000. You know, some people are smart like that, man, but in my area, if I had to sell this car right now, I had to drive 13 hours just to get one, and that was searching today. Because I want to make sure before I post this video where I'm located. Paragould, Arkansas. I can't even find one in St. Louis or even in Dallas, and if I do, it's expensive, you know, more than what I bought this car for. And this is just an auto version, but the style, man, the body style of this car, when I drive this car, man, I get a lot of eyes, a lot of thumbs up, you know, car enthusiasts as well. They know the car, but for a 20-plus-year-old car, the body lines is, you know, man, it's beautiful, man, to be honest with you. I think, you know, Toyota hit of course it has a lot of Italian influence on it, but yeah, it's a beautiful car, man. Some 17s, drop low, yeah, you know, this car never get old for me. So the reason why I bought this car, you know, wasn't for the engine. It's a 5 SFE automatic, automatic manual, you know, natural aspirated. And the plan was to go K-swap, man. Ever since I saw that 1320 video, I was like, yeah, I gotta get me one of these, man. And we have a lot of these in Antigua. You know, obviously we have the JDM version with the 3S GTE turbo, and I never really had that much respect for MR2s, but now moving here and just growing up, man, to be honest with you, because I was all Honda, you know, but kind of growing up and learning more about cars, man, this is a beautiful car. And I feel that if it was a limited production car, or if it had a lot of hype like the Supra, even though the Supra is a very powerful platform, I think this car will hold its value, and it's starting to get there. But like I said, man, the plan was to go K-swap, and if I keep it, that is still the plan. But my #1 goal is I do not want to cut this car up. You know, a lot of guys, they put the intercooler in the trunk. I don't want to cut this car up. If I have to bore a few holes, so be it, but I don't want to cut this car up. I just want to preserve it as a street killer, you know, go to the track often, but I don't want to cut it up, man. So it's going to be a water to ear setup, and see how much I can learn with this. You guys want to see inside? I pretty much keep this car clean, man. I know it's dark. There's nothing inside really. You know, I keep it clean as much as I can. But if you guys want to see like a POV of me driving this, man, I don't mind. You know, I know it's nothing crazy for most of you guys. It's not a Ferrari, it's not a Huracan, it's not a Gallardo, it's not a Viper, you know, it's not an R35, but You know, that's it, man. When I drive this car, you know, it don't make me feel like I'm on top of the world, but you know, it gets a lot of attention, especially being red. Yeah, it do get a lot of attention. I have people came up to me and asked me, what is it? You know, nice MR2, nice SW20. Yeah, I've got that a lot. So let me end this video out.